All right, guys, here we are to talk about episode 12, season 1 of The Punisher.
Hello.
All right, so this episode has a lot going on.
In a way, yes. In a way, no.
Let's talk about the way no. What was your
when
your
things
slow
have
spots?
when things have a lot going on, to me that means like we go a lot of different places and there's a lot of different people doing a lot of different things.
Sure.
That's a lot to me. One person going through something very specific that's very deep and detailed or whatever is not a lot to me. It's like one thing or whatever.
I guess you can't go into too much detail, but you have there's a lot to unpack in talking about it anyway.
Exactly.
So where does it start? Where does this episode begin?
I'm glad you asked, because I actually took real notes on this one. It begins, so they're like interviewing with Madani.
That's right. Yeah, and I was like, did they get arrested? Like,
okay.
What the fuck happened?
And it was really weird because, like, presumably this is like their plan to like do this, but he keeps saying like, "Is that what you want to hear? Is that what you want me to fucking say?" And she's like, "Yes." Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, and then like it becomes very clear, like, yes, they were like, we're gonna like entrap people and we're gonna have this fucking elaborate plan to like do all these things,
and then go one step deeper without telling you,
and then double cross them or like whatever. But yeah, like why on these tapes aren't they just like, yes, here's my statement, I've thought about this. Like, she's asking him very obvious questions, and he's like,
because they like, if I had to guess and read into it why that is, because they are not on the books the same way they would normally be, maybe because he's like a wanted criminal and whatnot.
Right. And he
like
does
maybe
say,
she had to be like, I caught them, or like, but they don't go over any of that.
And she does kind of, ask very basic questions. He's like, huh, really got to cover your ass, huh? But it was very, I just mean that it was extremely adversarial.
Yeah, no, he was very aggressive.
I feel like this should just be like, here's my statement as I've been rehearsing it for the last several years.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. The main thing to come out of this is that she finds out that he pulled the trigger on her dude. And you're kind of like,
and I wonder if that's going to do anything, or if he's redeemed him, like in Micro, telling him like no, he's sacrificed himself for you. Oh no, it didn't. Like, did that redeem him?
Yeah.
Like, I often wonder things like that. Like when you see characters like quickly take a 180 on someone else who they've hated forever, and I'm like, would I be that way? Like, if you like scratched my car with your door, and then later saved the world, would I not still want you dead?
I think that's a straw man argument, because she shot like. I don't know if they've come out and said it or if I made it up in my head, but I feel like she was romantically involved with that dude that got shot. Is that accurate or no?
It seems like she gets involved with everyone she meets.
No.
So it's hard to say.
I'm not extrapolating that or saying that just because she's an attractive young lady. I'm just saying.
I don't know if that's been directly implied, but I would not say that it wasn't.
It was definitely not like whatever or something like that. But some of the comments early on when you're just hearing about like how she ended up back in the city and what the fuck's happening or whatever, I thought her boss or like the old guy, the old boss, not the old guy who died when Punisher with the gun, Wolfman, director,
Soul Man, aka
Soul Man / Wolfman / whatever man. When he I think he might have said something like, don't let this get personal, like like what happened over there, something like that. But regardless, like it certainly is affecting her so much that it makes sense to me that maybe there was more than just like he was not just her witness or just her whatever. It seems like something was up. But so like this whole time you were kind of like, well, she they're going to cooperate, but what is she going to do after that? Is she going to be like, okay, and slap cuffs on cuffs on him? And now that this happened, you're like, oh, maybe it will. I don't know.
Oh man, so they have this ruse planned.
Les ruse.
And like, I kind of called that. I was like, well,
God.
that's fake, because what the fuck? I'm like, what kind of agent? He like took it. I'm like, did he take aim and shoot him in the back?
It was really weird.
But then I was like, well, that can't be your plan, because I'm like, what if he just naturally got caught in the crossfire?
Yeah.
He can't just have a bulletproof vest on.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, what is this, some sort of Dumb and Dumber scenario? What if he shot him in the face?
Yeah.
But that cop, had blanks the whole time.
Yeah. So like when Billy has like the sniper rifle, part of it for me was like, I would have just plugged him in the head once to be like, I want to make sure you're dead. I don't want this to be ambiguous.
Well, he wanted him to be alive.
I know he did, but he was like, oh, fuck, he's dead. I don't know. And just be like, I don't know. It was very, because like there was a lot of gunfire going on. It is like a risky plan to begin with. It did feel weird. I'm glad that they actually showed like everything. They showed like he's like wearing something that has 3 squibs in it or whatever.
Yeah.
And he, like the body bag like fucking scene. Like I love that's a choice meme. That's good.
The moment that I was like, oh, that's delicious, is I love the gas cans tied to their backs, stab it and have them walk. It's like, bitch, wherever you run, you're gonna die.
I know. I don't know if that I don't want to be nitpicky. I don't know how well that works with like the Die Hard physics of like the trail of gas.
Well, it didn't work.
I know. Well, yeah.
That gas was the slowest moving gasoline ever, and like I thought he was gonna dive on it and to stop it. He just like kicked it a little and threw his jacket, and I was like, that was not as settling as him being on fire, like saving his family as I would have wanted. But you know, whatever. I thought the visual of that was really cool. Like
it was.
Like walk, drip, drip, drip.
No,
drip.
yeah.
And I always put myself in the character. I'm like, all right, so if this were me, what would I do? And I think I would spin wildly and hope to disperse the gas enough that there wouldn't be a linked trail.
Oh dear. Yeah, I think if you just ran fast enough, it would be dribbling not consistently enough to like catch. I mentioned the Die Hard thing because
that's a very big hole though.
No, regardless though, it would it's like plopping out of the hole. There's no like you have to poke the hole in the top like high C. It has to flow naturally. This was just glugging out. You know what I mean? I'm very critical of this gas can stuff.
We have to perform an experiment about this.
And they were down by like the docks, I think. So like the natural move is just run full tilt into like the water,
spin wild. I already told you what my natural.
I already told you I'm a fucking sprinkler. I'm on fire, Man on Fire Part 2, starring me. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Because once you got that, like when you spin the tray and the food stays to it type of thing. Once you get that
force?
once you get the centrifugal force and the water
gas just flying.
Well, once the gas is pinned to the outside,
of
it would
what?
Of your back. It's on a rope.
Of the can or
yeah.
whatever?
So it would be pinned up, and I think you'd get at least one moment of like, and like it would be take flight for a second, and it would break the stream completely, and then I could spin out of it like trying to save that plate of food, which would be my life, and then I would just keep running.
I think you could just jump 4 feet or whatever, and that would accomplish the exact same thing.
No, I don't think so at all.
I think so.
All right, we're gonna strap gasoline to your back. You're gonna jump 4 feet.
As long as we're down by the docks like they were, where they have that big safety net of all that.
No. Oh. we need this to be a real test. Unless your life is actually
it has to be a real test, and therefore not a replication of the actual thing from like.
Because like picture you're holding a water bottle upside down and jumped 4 feet. It'd still be falling for those whole 4 feet.
Yeah.
But if you sent a water bottle around, you would slosh the water so far away from you.
We're getting way too deep into this. I do not think that the fire would travel along the entire ground and like jump up into the gas can and like set you on fire.
I think it would.
To begin with.
I think it would.
And that's why I mentioned Die Hard, which is a ridiculous scene where it like climbs up the jet fuel and does all these things.
Because
like,
also
really.
Also, them standing there when they first did it, the backs of their pants and their legs were wet from the gasoline.
I just don't think that it would have made and like what happened in this episode.
The Die Hard way, I don't think would happen unless jet fuel has a property that I'm not like that. It's like so much more flammable
like
that I can get it
something?
like in the air.
Yeah. No, and like what I think would have happened in real life is kind of what happened in this episode. The fire would start to spread, and you'd be like, "Oh fuck," and like stop it or whatever. You just can't do it yourself, like because your pants are soaked in gasoline. That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genius. Maybe just one of them should have died.
It's a great image, though. Yeah, none of them died at all. And let's talk about this, because before we get into like the main event, the coup de grace, if you will, there's a part during some of the interview parts, but after Frank's gone or whatever, where like Micro kind of lays it down for Madani and says like, oh yeah, well yeah, because you do want that, because you want justice, because you still think that that's a real thing or whatever. And I'm like, ooh, fuck. And then he takes it a step further and says, the only way to beat these people is to become these people. I used to be like you, but I've given all that up now. And I'm kind of like, oh, is this the whole thing? Is this the out? Is this how Micro can keep being Micro even though his family doesn't die or he doesn't die? Like, it doesn't really, I'm not sure what's going to happen here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And I thought they were going to kill the family right there, honestly. I thought that, Micro was going to get killed, and then Billy just going to be like, I'm a sadist, and just plug him twice. And I thought that was going to be a thing, like all witnesses, and just kill everybody.
Yeah, because they do the thing where, like, Billy's, like, looking at stuff using his sniper rifle scope as binoculars, where he could easily just kill whatever he's looking at or whatever. I love that sniper rifle, by the way, with, like, the trapezoid on the tip or whatever. I dig that.
Cool stuff.
High-powered rifle.
Oh, the highest.
Yeah. No, I'm not sure how they're gonna make it so that Micro can keep being Micro. We talked about this. I'm calling back to our own shit from a long time ago.
We still got one more episode that, like, anything can happen.
Theoretically. A lot of things can't
presumably.
happen anymore because it's just Billy, like, bleeding and on the run.
Well, they've also potentially backed that, like, leader girl, you know, that lady that was One Eye's boss into the corner.
Maybe.
And, like, she might, like, you're like, all right, we got to clean sweep this shit. Like, cause I'm like, what is the last episode if not just a resolution episode if there's not some surprise coming?
I'm feeling like it might be just like I think this might be not the new thing, but like a current popular thing. Game of Thrones started doing this, where like the giant crazy battle is episode 9 of 10 episodes. So here, like, and I've been waiting now to see how it's gonna go because they can't top this episode, quote unquote, right? They can't do.
There may not be enough things to kill to top.
There's not enough things to kill. There's not enough pain and like death left in the world to top this episode. So I don't think that's going to go up from here. I think this is like the cool
Frank
down
is
lap.
in a pretty bad way
Yeah.
to be murking, you know, people.
Yeah, so unless next episode says 6 months later and it's some weird thing, but there's no like
Back in Kandahar.
I was gonna say like 6 months later. Yeah, no, like not Kandahar. Well, that would be weird. But like 6 months later, opens up on like a market bazaar somewhere. Billy's wearing like a balaclava, doing some shit, hanging out, and then Frank's there, and they have this crazy and like predators there, aliens, and everything's just fucking nuts or whatever. Because otherwise, how are you gonna like climax after this?
Yeah.
This is,
I don't know, because they've set up a lot into like that Frank really wants to kill Billy. So like
Yeah.
I imagine that they'd want to film that, but I could also see Madani killing Billy.
because they kind of owes
She
him something
wants
there
it
too.
as much, not as much as Frank, but she wants it.
Well, so like these are like the little tidbits within the main thing that we haven't gotten to yet. The little thing we're dancing around is like Frank does kind of it does get solidified that like Billy was like, yeah, I knew about the plan. We were gonna kill you and everybody. We accidentally only killed everybody instead of you, whatever, and all that stuff. Where Frank somehow thought maybe he didn't really know about all that. So like
That's you just wanting him not to know.
If there was anything left of like, well, me and Billy have this history, so really I just wanted to kill Rollins, and Billy is whatever, he's a character, I'll let him be, is like, no, apparently, like...
After somebody put a bullet through my temple, like, I'd be like, nah, you have to die, like, there's no tomorrow for you.
Right, he's literally tried to kill him, and based on his rules of who has to get punished, I feel like Billy's firmly on the naughty list. He's on the get punished list.
Do you think they could leave Billy as the little, like, hanging Chad? And,
I think so.
He could, maybe he gets arrested by Mandani, and then, like, you could see a thing where it's like, hello, I think we want to use you. And he could be pulled out, or he could break out later or something like that. Because most of these Marvel episodes, like shows have a thing where it's like, oh, that could come back, or oh, this is that guy, or like, you know, the
I saw
get you at the hospital.
Sorry, I'm being quiet because I'm like thinking. So like you might not even see Billy ever again, and it might just come back in like next season, or something may happen to Billy where like the Punisher can't get to him, and he's taken into something. Does he become the new who are Punisher's supervillains? Are there supervillains that he has to fight?
All of the normal ones.
Any villain? Okay. So I don't know if Billy's supposed to become like an actual villain of some sort. So that's where I don't know if that's what you meant, but that's where my mind went.
Yeah.
Is
More or
like,
less. That's
we're
what
gonna
I was
give you
thinking.
robot legs, and he's like, robot legs, and it's like, don't you want to kill Frank Castle? And he goes, yes, like more than anything. And he goes like, come with us or whatever. And he's
I'm
like, okay.
Wilson Fisk. I think you would be a good bodyguard for me.
Right. Well, so like that's where I stopped short in like my brain, because part of me is like he goes in there and they're all like, oh, you're this, you're that, but then like what's your name lady walks in, or some other like established person, but there really isn't anybody, and comes and says like, you have a set of skills, we want to use you for this, but like he doesn't have a set of skills. He kind of fucked shit up and like wasn't great or whatever. And like what's her name lady actually said, burn Russo, fuck him, get him out of here, we have to clean this up.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's anyone to be like,
no one we know.
we're gonna, and that would be like the payoff, is if maybe like her boss Rafi comes in, he's really like a piece of shit, and is all like, we have to clean this up, get you out of here, and like away from Mr. Castle or whatever, and something happens. I have no idea. Part of me wants to never see Billy again for this season, and then he comes back later.
I kind of want him to die.
Well, and then die later. Yeah.
I'd kill him now. So Frank gets beaten pretty profusely
Holy shit.
for quite a while.
Oh my god.
And you find out that his plan was actually like, yeah, bitch, you're going to beat me, and I'm going to film the whole thing, and you're going to talk about your shit, and then maybe I'll bite your throat, stab you in the heart a couple times.
Jesus Christ. So, like, holy fuck. There's and like that's their plan, right? There's like a countdown timer. We need the hacker man. Hacker man's dead. Maybe Frank will know. And
I was quite frankly shocked that Frank can even do that. I was like, well, this is just a bluff. Frank has nothing. I'm like, his eyes do work. He can look into that like 920C fucking webcam.
It is a Logitech 920C webcam.
I know.
That's the weird part about it. It appears to be. No, it's weird. Like that was their plan, and that's why that works. But like, I try not to, but sometimes you try to take it from like the character's perspective. Why would they think Frank, like, because he said multiple times in this episode was really cool when they're waiting for like Billy and them to show up, or like like the bad guys with Micro's family. He says to Micro, "That computer shit, it's working. We have leverage now. Like you did good or whatever." But he even he says that that computer shit that you do. Like the idea that like Frank would have the password or like know the thing.
Yeah.
Right. And like Frank could have just laughed and been like, "You think I can do it? Huh? Like fuck you or whatever." So like the only way this worked is because they assumed he could do it, and their plan happened to be that Frank was going to do it, which is very weird as like a thing. But whatever.
And like, how detailed do you think, like, because he had a clock of a couple hours, and it would reveal the evidence. And the evidence was just the video, right? And like maybe a little written thing saying, "It's these guys. Trust me, they're in masks, but it's them. This is America." La la la.
Maybe I don't know what else they had or what else.
The evidence didn't seem that strong, is what my thing was. Where I'm like, all right, you can tell who died. You can't tell who killed them.
Right. I don't know. We are to assume that when that countdown ends, Billy and Rollins are burned. Are done. Yeah.
But the evidence he got way better, and the actual murdering that's better too.
Jesus Christ. So like
lost a tooth though. Makes me think immediately when you're a guy who can't go to the dentist easily because you're like on the run. I'm like, he'll never be able to fix that. Which tooth was it? I couldn't see it when he smiled. It must have been a molar.
Seemed like it might have been a piece of a tooth too, which is terrifying.
That looked like a whole tooth to me. His teeth are just small.
I thought the edge might, looked like it might have been like a shattered, like whatever. But that image of him being like, and like spitting out the.
That image is in every movie.
Yeah.
And in movies that have sequels, it's in the sequel too. And eventually you're like, shouldn't I be able to see
where are all his teeth? Yeah.
I just cheek a couple teeth before I get punched. That way I can just
to like add the beat for like the interrogator, so he knows he can stop for a second and start talking to me. Oh, he lost a tooth. No, I know it's very cliche, but like everything about this was so visceral and like crazy and all that stuff. When he bites his throat and all that. So like.
I was like, he's gonna rip him out. He's gonna do some like Rick Grimes shit, and then he didn't kill him with that. And I'm like, he was just necking.
So he stabbed him in the chest and bit his neck, and like
is that not your heart? Like
I don't know what, and the dude seemed fine, which I thought was really weird. I thought that was really weird. Honestly, I loved this whole scene, sequence, this whole episode. But there's several parts where I'm like, okay, I just have to believe that happened. Like it's very strange.
I wanted one sentence. Maybe two, of tough guy talk on what was special about the gloves. I wanted that one thing like he's putting on. I was like, no, these are special for you. I would have liked one thing like these are 16-ounce. Right,
they're like
filled with lead buckshot.
Just gonna
straps over the thing like something.
Yeah, they're full of ball bearings or something.
Because he was like slapping him with the back of his fist at first. I'm like, all right, so you're putting some weight into it because you're a bitch. Like, I don't know.
So that's the whole thing. Is like he should be like a big mouth. Like bitch or whatever, and to be stabbed like that and just like continue the interrogation felt really weird. But again, like whatever.
That maniacal laughter up close camera shit of him, and I was like, this guy's crazy.
Did you like that or no? I thought that might have been too much, and you might have said this is goofy. What do you think?
I like the style it was in, but I thought it was filmed weird.
Well, it was weird.
Like, it was uncharacteristic of how the show was filmed things previously.
Totally.
And I understand that can be used as an effect.
As a choice or whatever. Yeah, it was like weird Dutch angles and like that weird shit when people used to be on drugs on like MacGyver or something when they would like tilt the like image or something like that. Yeah, it was weird to the point where I think if I wasn't as invested as I am in like this in it, If this was in the middle of some other shit, I would have like laughed instead of being like into it. But I was into it here.
I have that feeling whenever like they cut to the main character, like now with their wife having a good moment. I'm always like, really?
Oh, did you not like that part?
I don't like the fake moment. I like when it cuts back to like it's like our kid's 6th birthday. Like I like those kind of things where like he's remembering the good things. I hate when it's like no, we're existing in our own thing now.
Like,
this is the heaven version of us. You could be here. You're not done, Frank. Kill them. Kill them now.
She's in like they're all in like the black void, and it cuts over, and like 11 is over there watching them fuck. Yeah,
just not a big fan of that. It was okay. Like it didn't. I wasn't like fuck this, but I was like, I think I would have preferred something else. Cause like his life maybe like cutting to all these different good times of his life and then snapping back like I have to bite your neck. Like,
I have to bite your neck now. I forgot. I was thinking about fucking. So like, my 2 things with that. One, weird that it's actually them fucking.
Yeah.
Because usually it's like you holding hands down by the lake and like the moon or the sun or something's like nice and like the summer breeze and like the dress and like your things and both of your hands and you see like the rings and all that stuff.
And then blood. And then it slips back and you realize what's happening.
Right, but this was like fucking, like hardcore. Yeah. This is like a sex scene or whatever. And I was like, that's
shows in general
weird.
Have been more towards that direction.
The fucking?
And I don't like it because... Like and this is solely because it doesn't advance the plot very much, if at all, but it does add for real awkwardness if you're watching this as a family.
Oh, there you go. Okay, but that's just stuff in general with sex scenes?
In general.
Okay, that's interesting.
Same thing with most nudity. I'm like, does this advance the plot at all, or are you just like, I could write nudity on the back?
We could put some tits on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like almost sex scenes have like gone away from movies from my perspective. That's weird. That
I feel like they've gotten
dirty.
Opposite. Yeah.
Well, some movies have super dirty stuff where they like before every movie would just have the weird scene where like one person's kissing down the other person's neck.
Yes,
and their like head goes away or whatever. But like now I feel like it's like 50-50 split between there's no love scene or whatever you want to call it.
It just cuts to after with putting the covers. Oh
yeah. Well, there's just
it's raunchy as fuck.
Yeah, there's just like almost nothing, or it's like this weird thing where like holy shit, it's like thrusting and weird, like fucking shit happened. Like oh my god,
trying to get ketchup out of a bottle.
Just fucking Heinz, fucking good things. Wait, and
57.
Fucking go. But so I feel the opposite way where like actually no, I'm fine with either type of flashback. I don't really care, and I kind of like weird symbolic like bullshitty shit. That's sort of my like deal or whatever. What I liked about this was that the way that it cut and like the music and how it cut back and all that stuff felt it felt like above average, because it would be like on a hit and that would like carry into like the music that was playing when they were dancing on like their wedding or something.
Well, I
was like,
find
okay, this is fine.
It's odd that I'm like, yep, that's what Frank would be thinking about while he was getting beat to death.
No, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think he'd be thinking about fucking his like what is that? What is that supposed to mean? Something?
Yeah.
Like
he gets off by the violence.
Yeah, like he's in such pain that he's like, oh, fucking her was pretty cool. Like, is that the thing? Shouldn't he be like holding his newborn child or something?
It's not like his happy place, like in Happy Gilmore, where like you got midgets on horses and fucking people all wearing white and grandma wearing a kiss mask. You don't have that.
It's no, you do not.
No, you do not.
No, you do not. As you alluded to, he has to like make the choice though, or something like that.
Yes, and he chooses to come back to reality. To kill these bitches, rain hell upon this one-eyed bastard, and he fucks him up.
My God!
Like you're like, wow, he fucked him up, and then it keeps going, and you're like, holy shit! And you're like, now he's putting his thumbs through his eyes.
Oh my God!
Whoa!
No, that was like that was way extra, as the kids started to say.
If you just think about how life would work right then, he still has Billy to deal with. Like.
He doesn't care.
He could have got shot in the back at any moment. He never turned up. He never looked away from his goal of destroying this man.
I know.
Of making him feel as much pain as is humanly possible as the life leaves his body. And I like that. I respect it.
I do, yes.
I like when Billy realizes he's fucked. That face was great, too. It's like, you fuck!
Sneaky son of a bitch. I like Billy a lot. I gotta tell you something. I liked him playing, like, okay, Frank gets, like knocked out. Everything about this episode is so great. I don't even know what, like, I could just tell you the entire plot that happened and then say, that was so great. But, like, when Frank's waking up and Billy's playing, like, good cop in a way, when he's just talking to him, like, hey, man, you don't even know. You're already dead.
Wiping
right?
off his blood.
Right? He's like, come on, man. And then Frank, like, John Bernthal is able to be like, it's got to be you. I'm ready, and starts doing all that shit, and like, oh fuck, like he's like good at acting or whatever the fuck, the whole way that it flows. But then later, when like Billy snips his like zip tie halfway to like give him that fighting chance, just that weird choice, because he doesn't like snip it off, he just snips it enough.
I think that was because he doesn't want
to alert the guy. Yeah, or whatever, I know, but still, it's this great thing of just like, I'm gonna give you a chance here or something like that. And the guy, it's so dumb, but like it's like cocky in a way, like injects him with adrenaline. Which I wrote down, what? In like all capital letters to be like, why would he do that?
I could see that. That's actually a thing. Like he's like, oh, I want to make it last. Like you see, like even when you're playing a friend in video games, like they have you down to like 1%, and they're like, all right, let me switch to my knife. I'm gonna cut it, and like then like you could have a chance to kill them.
That's
like
terrifying. Yes. No, and it was because he was about to like cut his eye out, and he didn't
want him to pass out.
He didn't want him to pass out because of like the pain or whatever. That's like a thing with torture. They like inject you with some fucking shit or whatever the fuck. But it was everything was exactly what was needed for him to have that comeback and do all that stuff.
Yeah, almost like it was written.
Almost like you wrote it that way. I love that when they fought, it wasn't like, oh, Frank's back to his like Frankie self. His strategy is like, I will let you stab me because it happened.
Then I'll have a knife
and then
in
just
my natural
grab
sheath.
you and then pull the knife out. Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh shit, fuck.
No, it was pretty nice. I did watch that going like, oh, that could be a kill shot though. Like he stabbed him like,
kidney
oh no,
or whatever, right? He's like, he needs a kidney transplant.
Well, he only needs one, but the blood loss that he needs to rectify.
No, he's in a really bad way, but I think they did like a good job of showing that.
The amount of blood on the ground from the punches, though, made me think like his face looks really good for having been beaten to fuck.
Yeah, it was just sort of the mouth had like there wasn't much makeup like around the rest of his face.
He should have looked like Rocky at the end of Rocky.
He should have been swole up,
Yeah.
I agree with that. I love when he's punching Agent Orange and like they like rack the whole camera like a little bit, but also like Rollins's head like bounces and all that stuff, and I'm like, holy shit! Like they took a lot of like time, care, whatever to make this as fucking brutal as possible.
No, they're definitely good at that, and I wanted it to be like, oh, episode 13, the final episode will have like the most brutality of all. I land on this note where I'm like, I can't wait to see what he does next season, but I think it's going to be a wind down, and it's going to just be like
cool down
someone like, okay, this is what happened here. All right, sum it up. All right, this is Micro having Christmas dinner. All right, here we go. Like.
Okay, yeah, I would agree with that, like conclusion.
But I will not be disappointed if it turns into a bloodbath.
The
so 6 months later thing, that could be nice.
This is the hardest thing to predict ever because you don't know what like direction they're choosing to take, right? They may have it in their heads that like this is like the Punisher's quote unquote like done now. Micro's going to be with his family. The Punisher's going to start hammering like some other wall somewhere and then like lie in wait of being needed by other heroes or like other times ahead, right? Or they like season 2's already written and they're going to jump right into it, right? Because his whole arc was about going back to his past and fucking like righting these wrongs or whatever the fuck.
That's the best way to do an Origins. Like this is like an actual. There's no bullshit. We're like, oh, we have to say he's good at shooting. Let's just write that down and say it somewhere. Like, no, this is a great way of setting up this character. I do wish they would make more of these things, and have it like keeps getting written and be awesome.
Well, but so like he's already like now he's besides Billy, which is that open question, he's already like fixed the problem. So he doesn't have to keep doing this. He just has to go punish other people, maybe.
Or the last episode could be setting up the villain of the next season.
Exactly, yeah. If there's
some terrorist has blah blah blah.
If there's some
laughing gas. That's somehow a crossover.
Nice save, brilliant. Yes. No, I don't. Because like I don't know if he's supposed to show up and like help Daredevil, or if he's supposed to like be around more, if this is just going to save him for certain things, or what they want to do.
Every once in a while, when it seems hopeless, a head will explode like a melon, and it'll be him sniping. Everyone gets one.
Everyone gets one. No, that would be fine, But I'm honestly okay with like I'm not too worried. I'm not too concerned. I don't have any feelings of like, oh no, if they don't save this or do this right, because this was so like impactful and so fucking crazy. This one man's fucking revenge and all that stuff. Right, and even like in the middle of his personal, like justice, vengeance quest, he got a little like general justice vengeance by helping out with Lewis and like the like the spillover after effects of like the overall war. He even like fixed some of that.
No, well-rounded
so fucking,
character
like,
and
badass. Yeah. I don't know if he's gonna get back with Karen, if we ever see her again this season. I don't know if Billy, right, Madonna, like I don't know what's gonna happen here.
I'm sure we'll see some more of that in the next episode. Did anything else happen in this episode that we're not mentioning?
I'll just peruse my list of things to say about things. I like when Micro comes in and he's trying to wake Frank up, and he's like, "Hey, I betrayed you.
Call me a son of a bitch.
Call me a piece of shit. Call me a son of a bitch. Come on. I'm an asshole, right? Come on." And he's like trying to wake him up, and I'm like, "Oh, this is great. This is nice." It's almost like a little sudden with his like character development, but I can see them setting up maybe just to even be prepared to have this be like a weekly Adventures of these guys thing.
Sure.
They've kind of like brought it
I would
to a
actually
nice,
love it to be a one-off show where like it's like the X-Files and they just keep hunting and killing
like
bad
that,
guys.
Okay. I thought you meant
no.
this to be like a
I know
one-off
what you
season.
wanted. No.
I would be okay with that too, honestly.
Micro, I thought was great because not only does he get to die in front of his family, he gets to die twice and not let them know.
It's
like,
so crazy.
Like, he could have said anything. As he passed by, he had a moment where his head was turned to them, and he could have been like, this is part of the plan. Like, anything. Because, like, hey, there's a shock of, you're alive? And then immediately, you're dead again?
He said, just keep walking.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was his fucking thing. I remember that. Because I was like, what is he going to say? Is he going to say anything? He can't just not say anything. He said that? That was the whole, like, I dig that.
Yeah. I'm my own twin.
They had to like sell, I'm triplets, don't worry. No, because they had to sell their reaction. She had to scream.
Yeah.
Like, not again. I would have, even that scene when she's like, we thought you died. You died. You were dead for a year. And she's like hitting him and crying. And then she just goes into hugging and the kids come over and I was like,
in a bathrobe in a basement for a year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, then it picks up and comes back to lightness where he's like just talking.
I tried to put myself in their shoes and be like, how would I react if like someone I care about, I did not see them for a year thinking they were dead and they just came back.
Yeah.
Like, I'd probably be happy.
Would you?
Like that they're back.
Well, that's what these scenes are meant to like demonstrate, is the combination of anger and like you're so relieved, you're confused, you're angry, but you're happy. Like, how do you deal with this person?
Yeah.
That happens on, I shouldn't say this, it's a spoiler, Sherlock.
His secretary? Yeah.
Spoil everybody, fuck you.
But yeah, that's kind of what happens in this episode.
Real quick, it's like a fruity thing, but I do like it. More of that like symbolism stuff. I did like this idea of like, where's home? Is it here or there? And like your brain thinks back to like, when he was talking to Micro and said, like, I'm a Marine. I love that shit. And all that stuff. And sometimes he even loved it more than there. Like they continued some of that conversation that he's been flashing back to, like, repeatedly. When she's like, oh, you overslept, buddy, whatever. And then they kept talking, and it was this, like, painful thing. Where he's like, come on, painted ponies and stuff. And she's like, this is the hardest part when you're back, but, like, you're not really back. Like, come on. And he's like, I'm done. I'm not going to go back next time. It's over. And then it makes that even worse when, like, later that day, that's when they died. That's like, super fucked up. And him, like, and again, this is, like, pretentious or whatever, but I like this idea that he had to literally, like, choose. He could, like, go home, like, where is home? In this place with her, where, like, he can go away from being that type of person into being, like, a real, normal, good, happy person, or in this, like, dark place where he just wants to, like, get, like, revenge and kill and all that stuff. And they had it, like, it cuts from, like, him holding his wife's hand and, like, squeezing it to him, like, squeezing his own hands together to, like, break the zip ties and all that stuff. Like, it was super well done for, like, one of those things. That's what I was saying before, where, like, in, like, a lesser piece of material, some of this would make you laugh or roll your eyes. Maybe you did roll your eyes, right, at some of this stuff?
No, like I don't think that this show, honestly, had any moments where I was like, oh, come on. Like, a few things where I'm like, I would have done that a little differently, or like, I'm not the fan of this style of doing it, but in general, everything about it was very high production value, done well. The choices were choices. I never felt like, this was just a thing. Like,
like we didn't have enough money to do it better, so we just did this. I know, yeah. That, if nothing else,
that speaks a lot.
Well, but that's something you can say about, like, a lot of the Netflix stuff, I feel like.
Yes.
Things that I don't like, it's not like, we ran out of money and the guys, I guess, we're fine. We have to do it. It always feels like, choices that I disagree with characters and with stuff.
Yeah.
So I have no fucking idea what's gonna happen with Punisher. Are they gonna make it like another season? What's gonna happen?
I can't imagine this wasn't well received, and I can't imagine they're not just trying to milk anything for the most amount of stuff ever.
With this level of violence, though, I'm really wondering how well it was received. I'm still on media blackout because we have one episode left to go.
You don't get violence anymore, so I think people are hungry for it.
Wow. What about all the people that say violence is bad and it glorifies killing and he's a military person, whatever? I know, but they get to make laws in Congress usually.
They don't affect net neutrality. Oh.
Yeah. Punisher shows up, and that's going to be neutral from now on. Come on, Micro. And Micro's like, you can't help this time. We have to do code. He's like, come on.
Guns.
Who do I kill? We don't kill anyone. We just have to talk to people and fix this, legally. And he's like, that's your way. My way is like loading a fucking gun kind of thing.
That's putting bullets into floppy drives. Yeah. All right, guys, so that was this episode of Punisher. Let us know what you thought about it in the comments below. If you have any predictions for the next episode. And until then, don't die in a fire. We'll see you next time.